up, what up, what up? Take my jacket a little off. Oh guys, been busy as shit. Still 20 days away from my trip, but getting gifts for the family a little early here. Good morning. Look, they're tearing this house apart. Gonna be a noisy ass video. So, this Trump guy won out of all odds. Everybody's kind of going a little crazy, I think, you know. I don't know much people who talks about it, but I was at the doctor's place waiting. That was yesterday morning when I started hearing people talking about it, like, yeah, I can't believe it happened and stuff. And I'm like, wait, what the hell? I checked and I'm like, oh my god, this guy won something like quite a bit. I don't really understand politics at all. I saw like 270 to like something and he was winning by a bit. Weird bug. So he won. So what is it? What's next? There's only one thing I want to share. One is a general vision of the world, and then it'll be like a practical of how it affects us and me and people in my position, right? And how we should go about it, I think. Number one, the vision of the world way is, it's good. It's fine. It's all good. Because if you have the same type of understanding, or not understanding, I'm not trying to say I'm a star, but same view that I have, which is this shit just doesn't work. Like, I don't have to go into politics. I don't have to read what's going on and all the things and what they're doing in Iraq and all this shit to say this. I am completely naive, all that. I just have a general feeling of understanding what are the events that went through in America before I came here, and after I came here, I really got to see what it actually is. So I see where the rest of the world puts it at a pedestal. Not the rest of the world, but at least in Asia. And when you come here, you see how it is actually run, and it doesn't take long to get an intuitive feeling that this shit doesn't work, okay? So that's the first thing, right? This guy winning, everybody's like, oh my god, he won, I can't believe so, you know, I'm surprised he won. I was like that too. But when you really think about it, don't be surprised. He didn't just win yesterday. Donald Trump has been winning for over, in the last 2, 5, 10 decades. For this to really happen. Think about it. 3 days ago, before he was elected president, that still existed. That environment, the entity that allowed this circumstance, the circumstance to happen where a person like him gets elected, already existed. There was enough hate and racism and sexism in the hearts of the economy in here, of all the people in America, for that kind of person. It just took him to fill up that hole, you know, show those kind of people the possibility of all that hatred to be flushed through, you know, to be portrayed. That's why he's in place. So he's just the thing we're pointing at, but it's also the main thing is the entire economy, right? I hope that makes sense. You follow, right? There's just enough people who are like that maybe a lot of people didn't realize. Like, I didn't realize that. I had no clue. If you told me how many people would elect for such a guy, I thought maybe 20% down south, rednecks, who doesn't know shit about shooting deer. Some funny joke like that I would pull through. But no, more than half, quite a bit more than half of Americans in America, people in America, feel like that, which is why he was able to come. You can understand? Now, why would I say that thing is good? Why such a thing is good? One is for the long run. It may not happen in my generation, may not happen in the next generation, but for America to go to a sort of position where it is really a leader to the world, right? Because right now it is. It is looked upon as one of the biggest countries, right? If you think of most powerful countries or big countries or whatever it is, America would come up in your conversation. To really hone that title, America would have to be run in a way that is completely different than this system. This whole voting shit does not work, okay? Like I said, I'm not gonna get into why I believe it doesn't work, because I'm not here to challenge people to fight. I don't feel good at that shit. But whatever it is, it just doesn't work. And for people to see that, not us only, because when I say us, a lot of people might think that I'm talking about immigrants, I'm talking about Indians, I'm talking about Asians. I'm talking about us as humans who are living in these borders to realize that these people, this system doesn't work. It has to be fucked up to a certain point, right? it has to go to an extreme circumstance when even the dumbest people, even the most naive people will wake up and be like, all right, man, like, shit, I guess he fucked it up. What's next? And maybe then one day they will not vote. They will vote third party, or they will actually stand to pick a system that has that equal distribution of power, or whatever it is. I don't want to say other like systems will work. Maybe throw down all titles of government and come up with a new way that is just down to earth and you like a feel good way of like a much more human way. Okay, so that's the reason this is good. Okay, because it can actually go to that climax point and then possibly make that tip over. That circumstance much more likely. Hillary wouldn't be able to do that. She may not. I'm not saying she's not a good, she wouldn't be a better choice, but this had to happen sometime. If it wasn't now, if Hillary won now, those people, that hatred that has existed all this time, which led Donald Trump on, that hatred would have continued existing because there's nothing that challenges it, right? Now they are probably feeling whatever they're feeling that they've wanted to express for so long. Those type of people who voted for him, they'll realize that he's not going to be able to do what they think, whatever that is. Okay, maybe they'll be happy if they kick out all the people like me. Maybe they'll be happy if they block all immigration, build a wall, all that crazy shit. Maybe they'll do. But then what? You're going to feel good? You're still going to wake up feeling depressed in your life that's missing something, right? That's all we kind of want, right? Somebody who's going to be in charge to dictate or like lead a whole country. You want actually better on your day-to-day life and feeling in this body that we exist in, right? All right, having that said, guys, that's my whole point on that. Not hating on Donald Trump. It had to happen. Whatever's happening is the way. Is because it can't not be the other way now, because we can't even imagine what would happen otherwise. But I can tell you that it'll be less change. Things would have just continued if Hillary was president, like as it is now, right? All right. Now, for the exciting part, what does this mean for people like us? When I'm saying us, I really I'm pointing to the immigrants, right? I'm pointing to the people, not just the immigrants. My bad. That's a shallow way to think about it. The people who do not take part in this society. Like if you think about me, people my age, they don't give a shit, right? You shouldn't give a shit. Why take part? Do you read the news all the time? Do you give a shit about this stuff? Who's elected or whatnot? Yeah, maybe you look into it, but are you really like emotionally attached? Like you wake up and the first thing it hits you as strong as like the emotion when your girlfriend breaks up? No, it doesn't. What the fuck? We barely take part in the system, right? For those people, and also immigrants, how things would change. Let's say if he succeeds completely, which I can't throw a number at because obviously my predictions don't have much value since that he's president now. My recommendation would be start getting some skill sets to serve the economy online, right? Sounds very simple. But one of the biggest reasons I will give you permission for right now that I took so long to start in this is because I thought it was too late. I thought it was already saturated. Everybody was doing everything online, but it's not. There's very basic ways to make little amounts of money every month while doing good, while helping helpless people who are running businesses, small businesses. I'm doing roofing contractors. I call them up, I build them a website, and I charge them very low, much lower than they would have to pay an agency. And I don't have to do much work in it because I have the basic platform built and I just change it for the business name and whatsoever, and they're happy. I've already gotten my 5th sale last week. Okay? All right. Without rambling on too much, but pick something online. Anything, just pick something. Just go into it. If you're working now, a 9 to 5, whatever it is, after your work, start learning that skill. Whatever feels good, whatever is enjoyable. I think personally, building websites is kind of cool because you like to build something for yourself first, like a little online agency thing for yourself, and then go on from there, right? WordPress or Wix, it's very easy, drag and drop websites, not telling you to learn code now. Build that. Learn that skill. Other things you could do is Shopify, e-commerce, building an online store. I'm giving that a try and trying to market it through Facebook ads. That's It's not going that well because Facebook ads is a little tougher than I thought, but it's very cool. I'm still enjoying it more or less and learning that too. These things would be my recommendation, guys. Why? Because you're off the grid. I call people and tell them, hey, I'm this guy, I'm trying to build this, and that's it, done. Phone, something that's accessible all around the world. If I had to go back to my country by force or something, I mean, I've been already planning to leave in 2 years. Let's say I get kicked out before that. I would be able to have access to the economy, which I admit I kind of need, right? I need to have access to a first world country, whether it be London. I never tried, but I'm pretty sure I could do it there too. You know, it's pretty much the same things. But I need access to a first world country. In my country, I can't walk up to roofing contractors and build them a website. They get like $2 a day, right? I need this economy. Phone, I have access to it. Maybe Skype credit. Buy a big bulk, get a good deal, and I'll be able to call them all day long. Or maybe even a better service. I'm pretty sure they have something by now, given so many people who live in America from my country. They probably made a way to call each other in a cheap way. Find that out in 20 days. I'm going there, right? Whatever it is, phone. You're off the grid. Number 2 is you're building something online. Again, that can be done anywhere in the world. If I'm in my country, I can build people websites, do all their customer service through email once a month if they need something, change a headline, put up a picture, whatever it is, easy as a pie, right? The hardest part is just calling them and getting them to get on board to build a website. It's not even hard. It's just that's where people will get stuck. Cold call. Bam. 2 things. Completely off the grid. If you were to do something else like Shopify e-commerce, that's completely off the grid. Like 100%. Find a buyer through AliExpress.com or Alibaba.com, and you build a e-commerce store, right? It's drop